All right. Hi, everyone. Once again, this time we're going to be focusing on inverse proportion and solving algebraic equations on inverse proportion. So before you go here, guys, make sure that you fully understand how to solve inverse proportion and how to solve a word problem involving inverse proportion. Okay. So our main generic algebraic formula for this equation to follow is, again, y is equivalent to k over x, and k is equivalent to y times x. So meaning to say the constant will give you the answer if you multiply y by x. All right. Now, the procedure for this one is just the same to the procedure on how to find direct proportion. So we have these three steps. Number one, make the general equation. Number two, find the value of k. And number three, make the equation for us to get the value of x and y. So under this procedure, we are going to start solving this particular problem. So it says here that y is inversely proportional to x. So knowing that, this is going to give you y is inversely proportional to x. Oops, sorry. Y is inversely proportional to x. Okay, because this is the general equation. And the next thing that you need to do is to solve for the value of k, knowing that k is equivalent to y times x. Okay, what you need to understand is that in the problem itself, you will be given the first values of y and x. So this is going to give us 40 times 5. Okay. So in this question, this will tell us that the value for the k is now equivalent to 200. All right. So if that is 200, then that would mean that for the third part, we are now going to write down the equation. So just like what we did in the direct proportion, we are just going to plug in this particular value for the k. So that means that the equation that you're going to get now will be equivalent to y is equivalent to the value of the k that you acquire, 200, divided by the x. So this is the equation. So if you are asked for the number one question, okay, maybe I'll just change this to ABC so you guys will not be confused with this one. Okay, I'll just change it. A, B, C. All right. So let's say, for example, you're answering letter A. All you need to do is to just write this down. Simple as that. So we got y is equivalent to 200 over x. And now if we're going to answer letter B, so it's just a simple plugging the values that you have in there. So if you're looking for the value of y, then that means the missing one is y. And the given value for the x is 25, which you just put into this particular part. So 200 over the value of x, which is equivalent to 8. And now you will understand that y is going to be equivalent to 25. Very simple. Okay. So now in this sense, for the letter C, it tells you that the value of your y is equivalent to 400, which means that you are still going to use the same formula here. And you are going to put this value 400 to the given equation. So this is going to have 400, which is the value of the y, is equivalent now to 200 over x. And for you to get the value of x, all you need to do is to just switch these two. So this is going to give you x is equivalent to 200 divided by 400. And we know that these zeros can be canceled out, and the 2 and the 4 can be changed to half. So this would mean that the value for the x is now equivalent to half. Okay, just like what we did here. Okay, so now what we need to do next is for you to answer this particular question. And I want you guys to pause this video so that you can have the time to answer. Okay, I assume that you guys paused this video and answered these questions correctly. So let me just change this to A, B, and C so that it will not be confused as the answers for with the steps. So again, we're going to follow the steps. Step number 1 is to write down the calculation. Q is inversely proportional to P. It's inversely proportional to P. So in this case, you will see that it's not always X and Y. However, the procedure is just the same. Oops, I think I miswrite it. So K over P. All right, sorry about that. So when you say inversely proportional, so this is going to be the fractional form. And in here, you are going to solve for the value of K. So this one will tell us that the value of K is equivalent to Q times P. All right. From here, you will be getting these particular values for Q and P such that the Q is equivalent to 0.25 times 2. So this gives us that the value of Q is equivalent to 0.5. And the third step that you're going to do is to just plug it in to this first equation. So Q now will be equivalent to 0.5 over the value of P. Okay? And now the next thing that we need to do is to answer these questions A, B, C, D. So A, the question is in A is to find the equation connecting Q and P. So you already have it here. So Q is equivalent to 0.5 over P. Letter B will just be the same. So just like what we did here, all we need to do is to substitute this particular value. And it says here that the value of Q is equivalent to, find the value of Q when P is equivalent to 5. So substituting these values, you will now understand that this is going to give us 0.5 over the value of P, which is equivalent now to 5. Okay. So in this case, what you need to understand is that these values should give you an answer, a simplified answer. And if you understand, this has to be converted. So if you guys want the first equation to be converted, you can also change this as the value of 1 over 2p. Okay? 1 over 2p. So how did we get that? We just multiplied both numerator and denominator by 2 so that the numerator can give us a whole number. All right. So from here, if you guys would like to convert this, that would also be possible. So let's say, for example, we are going to use this particular 1. So this is going to be 1 over 2 times the value of P, which is 5. So automatically, this is going to give us 1 over 10. Okay, for letter C, the procedure is just going to be the same. So it says find the value of P when Q is equivalent to 0.2. So following this equation, so we're going to use Q is equivalent to 1 over 2P. So from here, we will just substitute the value of Q as 0.2. 1 over 2P. So this would mean that 2P is equivalent to 1 over 0.2. Okay. And then for you to get this one, all you need to do is to simplify this first. We can say that this is going to be uh, multiplied by 10. So this is going to give you 10 over 2, which is equivalent to 5. So that means 5 is equivalent to 2p. Let me just highlight this one. 2p is now equivalent to 5. And for us to get the value of p, all we need to do is to find it using that equation. So if 2p is equivalent to 5, then p is equivalent to 2.5. Okay, I hope you guys got it. All right, let's move on to completing the table. So this one is very easy, guys. Some of you are still confused on how to answer this one. All you need to do is to follow this general rule. In the previous video, we stated that the product of x sub 1 and y sub 1 will give us the product of x sub 2 times y sub 2. Or we can say that the product of the terms are constant. Meaning to say, if you multiply x sub 1 and y sub 1, the result is just the same when you multiply x sub 2 and y sub 2. All right? So from here, all you need to do is to label the two given values in the table with x and y as your x sub 1, y sub 1. So in this case, the value or the ones that has the value of x and y is 3 and 4. So this means that we are going to label it as x sub 1 and y sub 1. And the next thing that you need to do is to look for a certain column that you need to answer. So let's say, for example, if I'm going to answer this one, then that means if this is the one that is missing, then I will assume that this is the x sub 2, and this is going to be my y sub 2. So knowing this equation, what you need to do is to just plug them in. So this means 3 times 4 is going to give us the result of x sub 2 times 24. So in this case, for us to be able to get x sub 2, all we need to do is to 3 times 4 divided by 24, which gives you 12 over 24, which is equivalent now to half. Okay, so this is going to give you an answer of half. Now, I'm not going to be writing down the values of everything in here. So I will just simply tell you how to answer one of them, each and one of them. So this one is solving for the value of x, and the other one will be solving for the value of y. The rest is for you guys to answer, okay? So let's say, for example, we are going to answer this one. So the same procedure is what you're going to do. Assign these two values as your x sub 2 and y sub 2, meaning to say that these given values will automatically be your x sub 1, y sub 1. So from here, let's try. So if this is 3 times 4, and you're looking for x sub 2, y sub 2 as 2 times y sub 2. So that means this is going to be 12 is equivalent to 2 times y sub 2. So that means y sub 2 is a calculation of 12 divided by 2, which tells us that the answer for the y sub 2 is equivalent to 6, meaning this one now will give us a value of 6. Okay? Did I answer that one correctly? Oh, wait. Yeah, 6. All right, so notice that if you multiply these values, automatically they will be the same. Okay, so if you want to go fast track with this one, if you are fully equipped with the idea that the product will still be the same, so all you need to do is to multiply 3 and 4, or you can just have it as a constant. So like, let's say for example, the constant is 12 in here. So that means the constant value, which is 12, will be divided by the given value for you to find the missing value. So let's say, for example, I'm going to answer this one. So what I need to understand is that the constant is 12, which is the product of 3 times 4. And then 3 times 4, which is 12, is going to be divided by 2.5. All right, so calculating 12 divided by 2.5 will give you a result of, let me check, 12 divided by 2.5 is equivalent now to 4.8. Okay, so this is a faster way faster than the x sub 2, y sub 2. So 4.8. So all you need to do is to just do the same thing. So if we are going to answer this one, okay, why is the answer not coming out there? Okay, I think my internet connection is having a problem. So from here, what you need to do is to just do the same thing. So you assume that the constant is equivalent to 12 because this is the product of these two given values. Then that means for us to get this one, we will just have 12 as the constant value, and it will be divided by 1.5. Okay. So that means 12 divided by 1.5 is equivalent to 8. So here, the answer is going to be equivalent to 8. So as you notice, if you multiply each and one of these, automatically the answer will be equivalent to 12. All right. So now you're going to think which particular step will be more efficient for me to get the answer. Okay. So what I want you to do now is to solve this one and stop the video so that you can have more time. Okay. So let's assume that you already got the answer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split the calculation in such a way that you will have two procedures. One is the x sub 1, y sub 1 is equivalent to x sub 2, y sub 2. And the other one is to find the constant to be divided by the other given quantity. So first step, let's try to solve this one. So x sub 1, y sub 1 is equivalent to x sub 2, y sub 2. Knowing that the x sub 1 is x sub 1 and y sub 1 is 2 and 2. So you will have 2 times 2 is equivalent to, let's say we're looking for this one. So this is 0.5 times y sub 2. Okay, so y sub 2 now is going to give us 4 divided by 0.5. Okay, and 4 divided by 0.5 will automatically give us 8. So this one now will give us an answer of 8. Am I right? So if you multiply 0.5 by 8, it will give you the same answer as 2 times 2. Second procedure is for this one. So x sub 1, y sub 1 is equivalent to x sub 2 times y sub 2. So you will be having 2 times 2 is equivalent to x sub 2 times 4. So x sub 2 now is going to give you 2 times 2 is equivalent to 4. So I'll just put 4 here. And divided by 4 gives me 1. So notice that here the answer becomes 1. All right. The second portion is going to be explained in such a way that you are going to find the constant value, or k. So we know that the constant value is the product of x sub 1, y sub 1, or the product of any columns that will give us a particular value. So here, this is 2 times 2, meaning to say that the constant is 4. So if the constant is 4, all you need to do is to divide this particular constant with the other given value. So let's say, for example, in this column, okay, the x is equivalent to 3. So all you need to do is to find 4 divided by 3. So this is going to give us 1 and 1/3. Okay, and this 1 and 1/3 will automatically be the answer for this one. Okay, so this is way faster. So all you need to do is to multiply this one and then divide it by what you see in here. Okay, so for the next one, you will be having 4 as the constant value, and this y will divide that one. So 0.8. Okay, so 4 divided by 0.8, if you calculate, will give you an answer of 4 divided by 0.8 is going to give us an answer of 5. So automatically, the answer here is going to be 5. All right, so by next video, I will be discussing other forms of inverse proportion wherein you will encounter values with exponents and values with radical signs. So that's it for now. I hope you guys learned something from this inverse proportion topic. That's it, and goodbye. Have a nice day.